Hello everyone, this is Logan, back at it again at Logan's Horror. One and on MT's Food with Hutna. This is Logan, welcome back to Logan's Horror, and I'm gonna back this up a bit. And today we are going to review Little Shop of Horrors, which was released in 1996. I think it was 1986, I'll check the date in which it was released. And it stars Rick Moranis, Rick Moranis, Ellen Greene, and Steve Martin. I forgot the other guy's name. Sorry, but this movie tells the story of Seymour, who basically is wandering around, and then he just finds this plant, and he buys this plant, but then he learns something that it doesn't. It's not like any other plant. It eats flesh. It needs blood, and soon enough it becomes so big that it needs to eat people. So this is a remake of the 1963 film, I think, of called The Little Shop of Horrors, which was a B movie, and this became so popular that it basically there were so many plays of this, but most notably the 2003 Broadway play. And there was also another play, which was this movie is a musical, and it basically tells the story, and it's a really good movie. So the plant's name is Audrey 2, and Seymour, he names it after Seymour's crush, Audrey, who she has her own boyfriend, who is played by Steve Martin. So it feels weird seeing Steve Martin young, because we mostly see Steve Martin as like this old guy. So yeah, Steve Martin's in this film. But besides that, this movie is very slow, and it's not anything special. It is a musical, like I said, meaning there are songs in here. And of course, being me, I need to fidget around or something while I'm doing these videos, which I really need to stop. So, the movie, Levy Stubbs, I think that's his name, plays Audrey 2, and this plant puppet is amazing. There was no use of CGI in this movie, and it was all puppetry. And this entire scene just looks great. And Seymour is this character who's like, it's basically, think of this like Joker 2019, where it just kind of, society's crap. In this town they live in, everything is just crappy, and Seymour works for this plant shop that isn't doing too well. So when he buys the plant, then it just starts making so much money, and he gets all these interviews and stuff. But all the fame he has comes at a price. He needs to kill people in order to keep the plant alive, which is interfering with his life. He kills the dentist and feeds him to the plant. And there's also this giant debate that I feel like is still going on now, and it's determining the plant's gender, because its name is Audrey 2, but it has a male personality. And yeah, it doesn't have a gender. I'm just gonna say it that much. It's just it's just a giant talking plant. It doesn't have a gender. So yeah, honestly, I don't even care about this gender. I mean, yeah, I was whole big into the idea. It's like it's female. I mean, if you like find some of my comments, there was like an entire I argued with someone about the gender, and it was like, oh, they can't run out of female actors. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I was like 9 when I wrote those comments. I'm 13 now, so that's how much big brain juice I drunk. But the point is, it doesn't have a gender. It's just a giant talking plant that eats people, and that's it. Now, this movie does seem to follow. It doesn't actually follow the original source material. There's a lot of changes. There's the inclusion of the 3 singers. And I remember owning this movie on VHS and watching it all the time. I was so obsessed with this movie. And if you check on my other channel, Zeotrax, you will see some pretty cringy videos. I highly suggest you don't watch those. I do apologize for that. But this movie, I keep repeating myself. Where was I before that happened? This movie has a lot of stuff and removes a lot of stuff. For example, the body count in the original movie is a lot more higher. As for Seymour kills more people. But I think the best part of this movie is Steve Martin's performance as the dentist. He's just so extra about everything. The plant also, Levi Stubbs does an amazing job as the plant. I mean, it's just so sassy about everything. And, yeah. Now, I don't really have much else to say about this movie besides the infamous ending. So, for those who don't know, there were 2 endings shot for this film. One was the theatrical ending, where Seymour killed the plant and got married to Audrey, and presumably had children. But the original ending is the most famous ending. I mean, it's like throughout all like plays, it's the most famous ending, and it's basically where Audrey dies and Seymour gets killed, and then Audrey 2 takes over the world. And that's it. That's the movie. End of movie. So yeah, there's never a sequel made for this, and I would have actually loved to see a sequel made for this or a remake. There's only 2 Little Shop of Horrors films, and with all the new remakes coming out for movies like Black Christmas, with there being Black Christmas, Child's Play, which I will get to. It also gets to that. And just other films. It's not any surprise that it's actually kind of surprising to see that Little Shop of Horrors hasn't gotten remade yet. Well, I'm gonna end this video right here. If you guys did enjoy this video, my thoughts on the film, my final conclusion, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It can get a little wacky at sometimes, and it can get very tiring watching this over and over, trust me. I know. But it's a classic, and it's kind of underrated. Not many people talk about it nowadays. And it's just fun to bring up a conversation. I'm going to leave this video right here. If you guys did enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and always be a horror freak. Boom. Yeah.